Subscribe to AmpCode and ring the notification bell to get the latest content.
Then we have our next item, which is data lakes. So basically data lakes has a separate storage as well as the processing layer. So in case of data warehouses, it has the same storage and processing layer, but in data lakes we'll be having like a different storage layer and a different processing layer for processing this data. So basically there are many offerings like Amazon S3 bucket, the Google Cloud Storage, as well as the Azure Data Lake Storage, which offers the capability to handle these data lakes. So basically data lakes can handle structured as well as the unstructured data. So as you can see in this figure, we have the structured data which is stored in any RDBMS, and we can have like the unstructured data coming in various varieties, like it could be like video or any audio clip or any picture, anything else. And also the data could be coming from JSON format, it's also which is like a NoSQL format, and it can be handled by MongoDB, but here data lake can also able to integrate with it. So data could be coming from real-time source or any batch source. So for versatility purpose, data lake is a quite good solution. And due to its due to its lower integrity, because like handling the structured data is way more simpler than handling the unstructured data, you can face issues in integrating all these sources and get it into right format. So you can use processing, you can use different tools. So if you are having like a S3 bucket architecture, which is if you have a deployed solution on the AWS, then you can use Athena for able to query that data and get the meaning out of it. But you can also use like Spark for processing that data and get to the required output. So as you can see, we can call this as more like suitable for the technical persons. So data scientists also can easily work in the data lakes, but the data warehouses are more business user friendly. So any business analyst as well can submit a query or analyze the dashboard or create a dashboard on top of the structured data, since they have the data readily available in the data warehouse in the right format. So data lakes are more suitable if you have like variety of data coming from multiple sources. So to able to do that, data lakes is a quite good solution. But you can also face issues while handling the transaction, because it is not as ASIC compliant as compared to the data warehouse. So you have to keep in mind that it totally depends on your application and the end goal that you want to achieve of your solution. And also in the market there is a new player coming, which is the Data Lakehouse. So this is the Data Lakehouse architecture. So Data Lakehouse is relatively new technology and architecture, which is like combining the best of both the worlds. So you can have advantages of the data warehouse as well as the data lakes. So basically it has the management feature, which combines the features such as ACID transactions coming from a warehouse perspective, as well as it has the low cost storage like a data lake. So data warehouse is pretty expensive if we compare it to the data lakes. So therefore it combines both the worlds to handle your structured and unstructured data very efficiently. So as you can see, if we talk about the data lakes now, we can have like multiple sources. So here we can have like a picture, we can have a video, we can have like a JSON document coming in at batch data or real time, or we can have like databases. So we can have like multiple sources, and the data could be coming in structured or semi-structured or totally unstructured way. So this data will get combined. So as you can see, all this data will get combined and we can dump that into our data lake. And then in data lake we can have this as a storage layer. So this could be our source, this could be our storage layer, this could be our processing layer. So here we can use like S3 or Azure for your storing the data, as well as we can use like Athena here or the Spark to able to process the data. So here we can use it to able to process the data, and this processed data can be consumed by various sources. So as you can see, we got all the consumption side of it. So here we will consume the data and draw meaning out of it. So here all the data analysts and data scientists role come into picture while analyzing it and converting the raw data into meaningful insight using Power BI dashboard, tables, etc. etc. This is how this data lake works. Now let's talk about the lake houses now. So for lake houses, we can call it as this is our source. So basically this could have like multiple sources. The data could be coming from like a real-time source, like a batch source, structured way, unstructured, everything. And here we can have like a combined architecture. So combined architecture means this data lake and the data warehouse. So basically we can have the data warehouse for enabling the ACID transactions, and we can have the data lake for handling all sorts of data very efficiently, and we can have the integration between these two platforms to able to process and consume the data very efficiently. So we will get the ACID transaction capability, as well as we will able to have a low cost storage solution for your unstructured data or a semi-structured data. And also, since this will be like our consumption layer, so you can say it as a consumption layer, and since it provides the streaming support as well, you can able to work with the real-time data coming in at a high velocity, at high volume, very efficiently using the data lake capability. So lakehouse is also, you can call it as a hybrid approach to get the best of out of both the worlds. So if we compared it, we have to compare it based on like its integrity, like the data it could handle, like the structured data, semi-structured data, unstructured data. So let's do the comparison quickly and let's decide which solution is right for you. So as you can see, this figure indicates the basic level comparison between data warehouse, data lake and the data lakehouse. So basically, if we talk about the data warehouse, it is totally useful for BI and reporting purposes. So for data warehouse, it only handles the structured data. So as you can see, we have the structured data, we have the ETL pipeline which ingests the data into our data warehouses, and the data could be used for business analytics as well as the reporting purposes. So it is strictly limited to handling structured data, and it's a pretty expensive storage solution. So if you have only structured data and you have to maintain the integrity, the ACID compliance of your data, then data warehouse is the only solution among these. So but if you are handling multiple sources of data like the structured data, semi-structured as well as unstructured data, then you can use data lake architecture, where you have segregated the processing and the storage layer here. So here we'll be having the ETL pipeline to ingest the data into data warehouses. So you can use the data warehouse capability as well, or else you can directly source your data lake to your data science or the machine learning applications. So this is how data lakes are pretty good solution to handle all sorts of data. And if you talk about the data lakehouse, it has the metadata and governance layers, which gives you the capability to enable the ACID compliance in your data lakehouse. And also it has the integration between this data warehouse and the data lake, which nothing but maintains all these metadata and governance in your data to maintain the integrity of your data. And also you will able to handle structured, semi-structured and unstructured data very efficiently. So if you have transactional system as well as the data coming from any sensor or web logs, you can use data lakehouse, which is nothing but a hybrid approach of getting the best out of both the worlds, like data warehouse and data lake. And you can also use it for machine learning, data science application as well as BI and reporting purposes. So this is how you can utilize all this platform as per your use case. So it totally depends on what type of data you're handling, what you have to achieve out of your data, and what are the tools and technologies that are already available in your organization, so that you can leverage them to save some cost. So I hope you got a clear understanding of data warehouse, data lakehouse architectures, and which one would be right for you. So this is all about today's lecture.
So that's it for today. I'll see you in the next lecture.